Good evening. Hello, Mac. Thanks for the ho ho hee hee ho ho. I've been busy, if you can imagine. To-do list is looking better. I still have Leon stuff to do, but most everything is just the dungeon. And then there is the stuff that I think probably looking at like 30 minutes each for these items. And maybe like 15 minutes each for these items here. So this is not a whole lot. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hours of polish, maybe. And then the dungeon, which that might be 6 hours on its own. Probably more than 6 hours, let's be honest. I need to figure out I want to redo the dungeon. Some of the rooms are still good, and I can still use those, but like I want some kind of more impressive, more interesting central room. Hi, Willow. Welcome in. So we'll brainstorm that a bit and maybe start building. Dungeon is the big thing. The easy thing for tonight is a new move. It's going to be a module you get from the birds for doing the jump rope challenge. It is purely optional. You don't have to do it. But what I want to do with it is introduce a new system that has not been programmed in yet, but it has been planned. And I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. But we'll figure it out. What it is having more than one of the same module equipped. So Thousand Year Door had a system where you could actually buy or find multiple copies of certain move badges. Like, oh, I've got a move that, does a really powerful jump on one enemy. It does like 4 damage, but it costs 2 flower points. But if you equip 2 of them, well, now it does 6 damage and costs 4 power points. And if you equip a third one, well, now it does 8 damage, but it costs 8 flower points. And I thought that system was really interesting, but terribly underutilized in Thousand Year Door. So I think the roguelike system in the Tower of Trials is going to be one way we fix that. Second way is the eventual inclusion of overclocking modules, hey Liari, wherein certain module slots will make that equipped module count double. Very, very major system there. And the third way we're going to accomplish it is just give you multiple copies of some modules. And that is what we're going to do with this jump rope move. It's not a jump rope move. You get it from a jump rope minigame. The move is not complete, but it's fairly simple. It is you're summoning birds. And so we'll give him a slightly better animation. Maybe he won't even show up here. Maybe it'll be like an icon of an arrow, and then he zips down. But the idea is just like target an enemy. Boom. And that's not how it's going to work. It's going to be multiple birds, like one bird, and then after that you get another whistle and a second bird. And the way we're going to do it is you're going to, by default, you get 2 birds when you use this move. Each one deals 2 damage, and the move costs 2 energy. Every time you add an additional module, we're going to double the energy and increase the number of birds by 1. I think this is a great system. But the thing I want to do is make it so that not only do you get that super powered version of the move, I want you to be able to press left and right here to toggle between the level 1 version and the level 2 version. What I gotta figure out is that gonna count as 2 completely different moves? Because if we make it count as 2 completely different moves, like if I have to actually include a whole new move entry, like here's, for instance, Spring Barrage, which is 4 springs. Let's say I give you another Spring Barrage move that bumps it up to 6 springs, but doubles the cost, and so on. You get the idea. Well, that's all well and good, because that's not a ton more code. Like, that's an extra, 10 lines of code. That's nothing. But it makes it so that I can't just let it continuously increase, I want a level 3 and a level 4 and a level 5. It's like, I would love it if there is no cap. Sure, if you want to spend 128 energy points on a move that does 12 damage, go for it. Weird choice, but I want it to allow this sort of weird stuff. Because what if you pair that with some kind of off the wall combo of I pair it with a status effect that damages me for using energy, so I take 128 damage, but I also have this item equipped that reflects all damage I take for 1 turn, and now I've turned this weird combo into this nuclear bomb attack. It's that kind of weird interaction is really neat in these games. So the point is, I want this to be something where it can just increase. So I'd love it if, I don't know, how do we do that? How do we do that? I would hate to change this signature. I could have it as a global, which isn't great either. Of when you select a move, we store in some global value the currently selected move level, and we just reset that to 1 at the start of every turn, and then we can read move level here and cost. That maybe we always follow the same formula. Cost always doubles when you increase the level. And then somewhere within the move, we indicate what happens. Oh, well, we add 2 for every level above level 1 to the damage. It's okay, yeah, that's doable. So maybe something like that. I don't love the idea of having it, not a true global variable, but, living on a class that we're... I wish it was, stuck in here somewhere, but I don't see a great way to do that anyway. Okay, problem right now is I'm hoping to say start the action command and then wait for us to push the button, and when we push the button, this stuff happens. That's fine. What's actually happening is what are you gonna do here? Okay, she's just sticking her head in. That's fine. I want this to wait for the action command result, but that's not really happening, is it? Because that doesn't happen until here. We could do a wait for condition. Wait for condition is doable. Where is that? I think I've got one in the chapter 0 moves. Wait for condition, yeah. So this would be a weird one, but let's try this. things longingly. You have like 10 other toys in there, Posey. Unbelievable. Alright, so we would wait for action command instance dot result to not equal -1. Action command instance is not... Oh, battle manager dot action command instance. Okay, so this is a way to do this, I believe. Now, what do we do with await action? What do we do with action command instance? Oh! I can't scroll down chat. I can't see what was said.
Based on the
Luckily, I was ready
current
for
theory of relativity coupled with the Heisenberg compensator divided by infinite probability of chew toys for Posey. That's got to be a year by now.
I mean, you might be surprised to learn that it's almost a year. But not quite a year. It's almost a year. Okay, action command instance lives on the battle manager. Almost there. Do we never set that to null? I guess not. But when we do action command start, that's... No, something's setting it to null. What is setting it to null? I see nothing setting this to null unless it's battle action based. Where is this getting set to null? Battle manager. What if it's this? Start action command. Start action command returns it. Does, no? Wait, is there some kind of base action command class that I've got in here? No, there's not. Probably. Is there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we set it. It only does that if action command instance is already null, but what is setting it? This used to set it to null. Easy, no problemo. Buckaroo. That's the thing I say now. That's my catchphrase. Where are we doing anything with that? Buckaroo, yeah. No problemo, Buckaroo. That's what I say now. Action command instance. It only gets set to null during initialization. So, wait here. Action commands, no, that's only if it is already null. Then action command instance equals start action command. Well, maybe that does something. Maybe battle manager start action command does something. It loads it from the command path, instantiates that as an instance, adds it as a child to the command container, and returns it. Okay, so that's not it. And then it returns true. Well, that's really silly. That's really weird. That doesn't make any sense to me. Await result does a callback based on the value of a result, but immediately, well, no, it's waiting for null. How would I not be finding this anywhere? Action command instance. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. This is easy. What I'll do is I will just look at the remote, battle manager, action command instance is what I'm looking for. All right, it is currently null. Makes sense. All right, so I'm going to start this, and this is going to change from null. This really should not be null right now. Oh, it's not. Okay, good. It's not null. Okay, so is it still null? It's null again. So something does set it to null. All right, let me change this to slow-mo. Okay, it's already set. So I'm going to be ready to change it out. Still there, still there, still there, still there. Gone. Okay, so it left while we were on the way back. So that was the gear spin move, which awaits result. And somewhere in here, it left. So let's look at the actual action command instance for the gear spin action. Pretty much just has this one little bit of code here. Oh, that's probably nothing. That's probably unrelated. Margin container, node not found. In the debug menu, a node is not found. I mean, that's worth noting, but unrelated to what I'm looking at. It would be nice to get all those warnings cleared out. That's going to be a big cleanup session at some point. I'm going to hate that. I'm going to hate that so much. Okay, so after pressing action, we set our result, we queue free. Good. So that's the action command instance deleted, but the memory reference should not be null there. Memory reference should not be null there. So let's do action command instance, huh? Battle manager action command instance. I have an idea. It's a silly one. How do I access this? Scene manager. Or is it in the UI global? No, I think it's not. Where's metrics? It's the metrics log, I've got this silly little class thing. It's under debug menu. So who's got the debug menu? Isn't that under the scene manager? It is under the scene manager. Do I have access to the debug? No. How can I access the metrics log? I don't think I have a way of accessing the metrics log easily anymore. So that's cool. Unless... Debug menu, is that a global? I don't see it as a global, which makes sense. Okay, how about this? Does the built-in debugger have a watch? Oops, what did I do? Oh, I added a dot here. Yeah, I guess I did, didn't I? You got me there. You got me there. All right. Can we add a watch for a specific variable? Let's see. If I were wanting to monitor a specific item, no, there's a lot of general performance stuff. But for watching a variable, what you would do is you would just look at it in the remote viewer. But that's not super up to speed. Like when it updates really slowly. It's still showing as null. It's not null right now, so I have to go to another node and come back. Now it's null again, isn't it? I can't see the moment that it turns null. What would be the easiest way to find... Alright. Don't look at this. Nobody notice what I'm doing. Nobody notice. Don't pay attention to that. It's fine. Don't look at that. Don't look at my code. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay. So if we open up the debug, the little built-in debugger here. All right, we got a little true statement here, and we can watch the moment. I got it in slow motion right now. Boom! It immediately is not null. Good. And now, hit button. Boom. Right there, right before I got back. That implies that what is happening is that it is in fact the queue free that is changing that to null. How? Because when you do a queue free, that doesn't delete the instance. The instance is still there, it's just no longer a valid instance. You have that is instance valid check specifically for that. It doesn't change to null. Yeah, because this is waiting for the animation to finish on the gear spin. But this code itself is not doing that. That's super weird. And I don't care, I can work around that, but that implies something is working very differently than how I expect it to. So there's nowhere that sets it to null. This used to set it to null at some point, but we don't do that anymore. If we just search for this without Battle Manager. See, this is a possible way I was thinking of that we could be referencing it by just hitting the setter directly, but I'm not seeing that either. I would expect an is instance valid check on it or something, and then it sets to null. Is there any... Yeah, like what if I'm iterating over something? Menus... that's a specific move there. Pause menu stuff, dialog box stuff. No. And then it's add-ons. Okay, so we're not ever watching for it to be deleted. Okay, what about action commands? As in the container. Oh, hang on, here we go. This might be it. This might be where it happens. Where the magic happens. No, maybe not. Action command container. Dang it. I really thought we were onto something there. Okay, so it gets added into this parent, but there's nothing that's looking at that. Unless... Get node, yep. And this is specific moves, specific paths. Yeah, okay. It shouldn't care that that I am or am not deleting a move. For comparison, this move that we're still working on, this move is still being worked on. It's not done yet. If I run that move, will this just remain forever not null? It is currently not null. Yeah, it still exists. So what happens if I try to do another move? It immediately goes through because nothing is setting it to null. Okay. So what if... Okay. Let's confirm this theory. Now that we've seen some weird behavior here, not just weird code, but weird behavior. Right, because it's already been freed. Okay, quick solution there. Wait for half a second. It doesn't matter. This is getting trashed. Okay, that happens. Now, because I deleted it, it is null. Yeah, it is null. Huh. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What? Who's doing that? Okay, action, is there some place where I'm grabbing the action command instance from somewhere else and then doing something with that data? Like there's gotta be some way of watching for it being gone. This is awaiting it being null. So where is it getting set to null? Not here, not here, not here. Delete this dead code. That's not doing anything. What would clear that out? We're not generating a new battle manager, obviously. That exists for the duration of that one battle. The container felt like that was going to be the one. Because I could then later look at that container and see like, ah, yes, grab the data from within there. But no, not even that. We get that and we're done with it. There's no base class for the action commands. All I want to do is be able to have multiple birds being fired. But the system that I built requires that it's a unique action command every time. And I could work around it. Like I said, I could work around this, but I shouldn't have to because this isn't how it's supposed to work. Look at these. Right? Alright, don't need those. So in order, we have setting it to null when you initialize the class. Great. On ready event of grabbing the container. Sure. That's nothing. And then the actions... We're checking equality with null. To create a new one. But only if it's already null. And here's where we're checking result. When it... How is it turning? Maybe there's some kind of listener on it, like a signal that's listening for it exiting the tree. And when it happens, then we automatically set it to null. That would still require us to somewhere say variable equals null, and we're not seeing that. But let's follow the trail of the exit tree. It is exit tree, isn't it? We don't do that anywhere. Is it tree exited? It's tree exited. Yeah, we don't connect that signal ourselves. That's only add-ons that use that. Okay. Guard handler would not do it. Battle actions, like, maybe, but let's check the variables up here. We look at the battle manager, action queues, no. Nothing, okay. Battle menus, unlikely. Like, almost certainly not. Battle events, maybe, no. It's happening while we're still in the middle of a single event, and so no change should be made. but just to be sure, 51 matches. What is messing with the action? The existing action commands are working, but the way that they're working is just different from how they should be working. And it just boils down to, how is this variable getting set to null? When I call Q free, all right, let's do it. Let's just do a test. Let's just do a test. How about that? Let's go to the scene manager. Classic scene manager. My awesome variable equals null. Sure. Then during the ready, get tree, create timer for 1 second. We're gonna do a few of these. After that 1 second timeout, I want to say my awesome variable equals a node.new. And then I want to add my awesome variable to the scene. Wait 1 second, print the value of my awesome variable, and is instance valid. Show that it's still in the scene. Then wait 1 second and delete it. And then wait 1 more second and log again. Show me what's the value of the variable. Is it still there? Okay. There's the node. Okay, it reads freed object. Here's an idea. This might be it. If I check for equality with null, because in all of these actions here, I'm waiting to see, is this variable null? So here's the question. If I tell it, does that equal null? What will it say? If it says true, so first it's going to say false. There's our false. True. That's it. It's not null. It's a freed object. But the catch is, a freed object counts as null. Oh my gosh. 30 minutes. 30 minutes to determine that it's a falsy value. Some languages have a system where values can be truthy, where they're not exactly equal to true. Yeah, the object itself... Well, no, it's still an object. It is still an object. I can look at its internal values. Like I could make a node 3D, and I could say set its position to vector3.1. And then I could call QFree on it, wait a few frames to make sure, like, okay, it's definitely been freed. The object is gone. But if I take that object reference, and say, is this null? It will say yes. But if I then say, and what is the position of this object? It'll say, oh yeah, it's this vector 3.1. Actually, that's something I'd like to confirm. Just to make sure, let's change this to a node 3D. After we've confirmed it's null, print its position. If it truly is null, yeah, I use is instance valid a lot. I use isInstanceValid a lot. Okay, so I want to see, is it going to tell me the position of this variable? Come on, crash. Oh, because it's previously freed. Okay, you can't actually reference the values within it. But it is a variable. It is not a pure null. It is not a pure null. If I print it, it doesn't say, oh, well, that is equal to null. It says it's equal to freed node. Or freed object. So it is not truly null. Nothing ever sets it to null. But if I ask it, hey, is this null? It'll say, sure. Even though it is not identical to null. JavaScript does this a lot. Undefined is different than null, is different than zero, is different than false. But if you say if condition and you try all four of those, you'll get the same result. They'll all count that as a false statement, but they are not all the same. And I mean, JavaScript's always been that way. I've been working with JavaScript for like since I got a job as a software developer, like 12 years ago. I basically started on JavaScript stuff, and it's always been that exact level of wonkiness. Okay, that explains how this is ever returning true. It's because the value itself was freed. Okay, so that can still work. That can still work. Yeah, it's because the object is referenced somewhere else, and that's actually what we're gonna do to cheat this. Now that I understand how it is actually doing what it's doing, we're going to cheat the system a little bit. And we're going to say that once we get the result, go ahead and get rid of it. Set flag action command instance to null manually. Yeah, I'm just going to set that one value to null. And that should allow us to loop back around to the start safely. Okay. Even though it still exists. So the bird is going to stop right here, but that's what I kind of want it to do for now. Yes, there we go. That's what I want to see. And then the next one can happen, but it's not going to auto. Yeah, all right, that's what we want to see. Thank goodness. Jeez. Phew. Target, result. Oh, see, that's a tricky one. Oh, that is a tricky one. Can I call QHERT actions on a target that no longer exists? Targets is set. So let's say we've got 4 enemies. Let's say we have 4 enemies. I've gone ahead and set up the 4 targets on the ground. You hit enemy number 1, index 1, so the second enemy, index 1. So it says, okay, you hit target, which is an enemy that, let's say, is already dead. Does this work? What would this do? Do we need to account for that? Probably. QHERT actions. We want to check to see if the unit is still there. Because otherwise, I bet things would get really silly. So yeah, let's check to see if the unit is dead. Just fall out immediately. Now the problem is, it's still going to... Dang it. How will we know if the unit is alive? Do we have access to the battle manager here? I wouldn't expect us to. No. Unless... Actually, here's an idea. When we are queuing up an action command, when we are starting one, let's just check to see. We could just give it the battle manager. But that doesn't really give us the necessary information. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Player moves. Get rid of that. Okay. All right, so this new move now, if you hit, basically I just want to have a different sound effect for if you miss versus if you hit. And when you deal the damage, there's a brief window where the enemy is not all the way dead because it still has to queue up the actions that happen. Damage indicator appears, animation plays, enemy falls, now remove the enemy. I guess we'll just deal with it. We'll just deal with it. If you hit it, maybe it makes the wrong sound effect and we just don't care. Oh, actually, you know what? Right here, we check to see what the target is. So I could say if target dot is dead, return. Okay, that will probably be fine. All right. Let's speed up this fall. Let's start him higher. Let's give him an icon of some kind. What icons do we have here? Do we have a nice arrow that we can use? Kind of. This triangle might be fine. Okay, sure. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. But thank you for following. All right, so let's do it this way. Why is there a Sprite 3D here? Oh, because that's the actual summon. I don't want the summon. I want the command. Here we go. Let's add a Sprite 3D. Plop our icons onto it. Enable region on that. Grab this. Round that. Rotate that. 90 degrees. Negative 90 degrees. Great. Call that arrow. Grab that in on ready. Position.x. Always do this. Move that up like 3. Seems fine. Bird. Previously I was saying 3.5. Let's make that 5.5, so it's off screen barely. And we're gonna say arrow visibility. By default is false, but if you are able to fire, then we're gonna set it to true. All right, let's see how that looks. I want that triangle to be smaller. So let's just scale that down. Much better. And we say, bam! Oh, geez, that comes down fast. Whoa, okay, slow him down, slow him down. 0.4 seconds. And when he lands, we're gonna pick a location somewhere off into the foreground. And we're going to tween his position towards that. So that's going to be vaguely, let's just say, random range, -5 to 5, y value 5, z value 6, fly off time. He's going to do that over the course of 0.3 seconds. In addition, we're also going to mess with his rotation. But his rotation around the z-axis, we're going to say pi times 4. Give him 2 loops. And he's also going to make a little fwee sound. I have a nice whistle fwee here. Let's check that sound effects. Pull it in. And we're going to play that as he lands. All right. I started the wrong scene. Get me out of here. Start this scene. All right. And okay. Did I miss that one? It felt like a hit. Let's see. Print X distance for every enemy. So we can kind of see that a little bit better. Earthy thud. I want that earthy thud we've got. This one right here. Hollow thud? Oh gosh. Earthy thud sounds better. Is there a better sound effect we've got than that for this? I don't want to get a new sound effect in here. Bowling ball land. The sound of a bird hitting the ground. Let's see here. No. How about thanks for the Pib Party and the Pib Party, the double Pib Party, Mac. Let's see. Oh, that's a barrel. That's definitely a barrel. That's not bad. We could take that one. Unless there's something better. Let's shuffle. Oh. What's that? We never use that. Actually, that pitched down a bit would probably be pretty good. Okay, layer those sounds together. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's try it this way. They really just... Let's change the fly-off time to be a little bit slower. This is really funny. I want us to be able to enjoy it. So dumb. Okay, it's effective though. Oh, and then we need to remove the targets, not per action command, but per the entire move. So at the very end of the action command, action Q, append this bound action of delete the sprite list of the target container. There we go. So we'll clean up the targets when that is over. That works. I think it's silly, but it works. Now the move counts as downward. It has the downward tag, which means that enemies with hard hats resist it slightly. It reduces the damage by 1, whereas other moves that's not gonna do much. A timeout, I guess, because it will happen as soon as the target result happens. Well, that happens when the bird hits, which I'm okay with that lining up. I think that works out okay. We could add a short delay. How many milliseconds? After we delete the target container, I think maybe a 200 millisecond, and maybe before. Sure, we'll do that. We'll give it 200 milliseconds, just enough time for a little bit of breathing room before the next move hits. Okay. GitHub. Check it in. We're not done with it. First of all, that needs to be removed from your default moveset. That would be very silly. It needs to be a module called... What do we call it? Did we make it yet? I didn't make it yet. Okay. The move is Bird Summon. So here's how we make a module. Bird Summon. It is the move Bird Summon. It is 75, no, it is 65 bits. It's a, is it 1 or 2? I'm gonna say it's 2. What shape? I want to say diagonal. I want to say we do a diagonal shape with this one. Like that. Color. What are my greens here? Let's give it a nice spring green. Dark olive green. Medium sea green. Medium spring. Let's go medium sea green. What is it actually called? We called it Beak Barrage. That's going to be the name of the module as well. All right, there we go. That is now in the game. You can't access it yet. if I go into the game manager, I can make it so that I have that module available by default. 2 of them even. There we go. 2 active bird summon moves. And so if I jump into a battle, I should already have the badge equipped. There it is. Now, the next system. This is something that I've been putting off, and I'm going to do it tonight because I'm not ready to get into Chapter 2 Dungeon again. I need some more time to brainstorm that. So we're going to build a new system. This is something Thousand Year Door had. Bug Fables did not have it. Paper Mario 64 may have had it. Enter the Worms. No, do not enter the worms. I feel like this was underutilized in Thousand Year Door. They went out of their way to make this a system, and then it barely comes up. Like, you could easily not even notice that it's a system. How many chapters are completed? That's a complicated question because of the in-betweens. Let's say 1 3/4. Yeah, the demo is the entirety of Chapter 1 and everything before Chapter 1. The thing is, there's these interstitial bits that happen between chapters, and they need to be pretty sizable. Definitely not full chapter length, but enough to kind of get you into the world a bit more. The prologue is very long. It's not a full chapter length, but it's pretty sizable. And then Chapter 1 is standard chapter length, maybe an hour or so if you're running through it. But then there's going to be some little bit that we have not done that happens between Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. The general formula is going to be that after you complete a chapter, you're going to get a little summary text that's going to say, and so our heroes did this and this and this, and then they found out this, but where could this be? And, oh, mysteries afoot. Let's see what happens next. Then fade to cinematic, where you learn a little bit of plot that the characters are not privy to. Then take control of the characters, where they are back in whatever town that was nearby, probably. And the characters go back to the main hub world. They turn in their MacGuffin, the golden gear, and from that they get a little bit more discussion with the main plot giver and information on where the next MacGuffin is. And then there's a complication. Why can we not just immediately walk to the next MacGuffin? Well, because reasons. Like, sometimes it'll be as simple as, oh, you just gotta find where the door is. Go explore for a bit. Have fun. Bask in this colorful, whimsical world. But sometimes there'll be something blocking your path. Like, I need you to go get me a thing. Or, oh, well, first you gotta beat this thing, and then I'll open this door for you. How many golden gears will there be? There will be 7. 7? 6? 6? Hang on, let me think. There. There. It might be 6. But there are going to be 7 or 8 chapters. Chapter 7 may be very short overall, depending on how many ideas I get for it. Minimum 7 chapters plus a prologue, and I would love to have an epilogue too. Like post-game, I want the world to stay saved. that's the way that RPGs always go, right? Is like the heroes save the world, and then one of two things can happen after you save the world. If you go back in your file, you either you are at the save point right before the final boss, and you can go do side quests, I guess. But the world you will never be able to explore a world that has been saved. I do know the other themes. But, whoa, what are they going to be? It's a surprise. It's not going to be a huge surprise. I'm not going to tell you now, but you will see some as we continue development. I want to say the weirdest one will be Chapter 6. Chapter 3 I'm very excited about because I have some fun ideas, but the region is not like a surprise for video games. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta have one of those. But number 6 is gonna be like, I'm sorry, where is Chapter 6 taking place? Okay, sure. Which I think is great. All right. So anyway, the system that we need here is when you have 2 of the same move equipped, it needs to grant you a stronger version of the move. And I don't want it to be forced. I want you to be able to cycle. Like, if you have it, then you can choose between a level 1 and a level 2 move. How do we do that? Parentheses, LVL1, close parentheses. Okay, great. But then how do I indicate that you can change it to level 2? My initial thought was arrows on the left and right, but we already have the indicator here. And that's like a pretty big deal. Can I stack it? Input tips bottom left. Maybe. I feel that's a lot of clutter. Because I'm not telling you press up and down to choose an option. It's mostly just the main controls. Even confirm and cancel I have reservations about. If anything, maybe they should only show up after a few seconds of no inputs. Like, what if you could see it, like, stacked? Like, a thickness to it? How would you see that exactly? So, here, let me share with you my vision. Let's get out a program. An arting program. Okay, so that would have to be on the object itself. See, I know how I would do it with CSS. Because, you know, I'm a web guy. That's what I do. All right. So suppose it's something like hang on. Get rid of this. All right, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. So it'd be like, this going on. Duplicate J. And then we take this lower one and we darken it, brighten it, desaturate, change hue, something. Make it like, there's a second one behind it. To make it obvious that, hey, wait a second, there's something different on this menu. Because this is the first time in the game, here in like the middle of chapter 2, that you will ever have 2 of the same module. And I probably need to throw in an NPC somewhere, not right next to them, because that's a little bit too, like, talking down to the player. Somewhere where you can learn, like, hey, did you know? If you have 2 of the same module. GQ. Hello. How was Democember? GQ is doing Xbox demos every day for December. Old demos. It's great. Worms! Oh, nice. We saw Paperboy the other day. Some kind of like it's right there behind it a little bit. Okay, so we need to go. This is gonna get ugly. This is gonna get ugly. We're adding a system, FYI, for people coming in. For if you have 2 of the same move equipped, you're supposed to get a more powerful version of that move. So that's gonna be fun. It'll probably, instead of X2, it'll probably be level 2. Because I need it to show which level you currently have selected. Actually, yeah, we should probably start with just the easy mode. Let's just do... Yeah, so if you have 2 of the move equipped, no, it's going to be a slightly more powerful version of the move, but at a higher cost. So we want to go to battle menu. All right, the menu system, it checks to see, hey, which attacks can you do? Player attack menu, here we go, right here. Significant drawbacks. So the advantage is the versatility. It basically gives you access to a new version of the move in addition to the old version of the move. But the cost is you have to have 2 of the module equipped, which does eat into your grid a bit. The more modules you have equipped, the less of other modules you'll have equipped. It's like, you're spending 2 module slots for this move that you may not use. You could be spending those 2 points on extra health or stronger attacks in general. So let's see. We're gonna for each move name in moves. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Oh my gosh, we are getting up there on follow count. I don't pay attention to it a lot. It kind of leveled out pretty significantly towards the tail end of Mario Maker's life cycle, because I really saturated the Mario Maker.
Collect a red balloon to get a rocket, a second red balloon gives you 2 rockets, and a third red balloon gives you a homing rocket, and 99 red balloons is too many balloons.
That's not how it works, GQ. Oh my gosh, fake Diddy Kong Racing fan? This guy... This guy doesn't know what you get for 2 balloons. GQ, I think you'll find that 2 red balloons is the homing rocket, and 3 red balloons is 10 regular rockets. Come on. A little bit too much Xbox. Yeah, that's true. I forgot. That's a fun story. The first time I ever went to GQ's channel, it was a raid from Germdove. Germdove was my entry point into this entire community because of Mario Maker. I faced off Germdove in a weekly Mario Maker 2 race way back in the day, like 6 years ago. And one of the commenters was like, "Oh, make sure to follow the racers and check out their channels." And I was like, I should do that. I should follow the other racers and check out their channels. And so I hung out on Germdove's channel a little bit. I was like, look at us. We're a couple of Mario Maker players. See? Look at that. And then we raided into GameCube, and he was playing Diddy Kong Racing while, oh my gosh, I think that was while kid was like a baby. Like a couple months old of a baby. And so it was like the middle of the night, everything was dark, and I was just sitting there with headphones and an old tablet. Yes, I can tell you some stories about New Baby Smell. And just having a conversation with GQ very slowly because I was still new to the world of mobile devices. I was a very late adopter. 6. But yeah, he was doing Diddy Kong Racing, and I got to see his big wall of video games. GQ's a bit of a collector. Yeah, but that's how I basically... I was actually talking with Hovercat about this like 2 nights ago. I basically just decided to steal Germdove's friends. I was like, okay, listen, all I know is Germdove, but he's got like a circle of people who all seem to know each other. At the time, it was basically Germdove, GameCube, Turtle, and Kerpska. That was it. That was the 4. That was the entire little circle. There were a few offshoots, but that was like the main group. And I was like, I'm going to steal this group. I'm going to basically sneak myself in. I'm going to crash this party. These are going to be my friends now. And it worked. You're all stuck with me. The original founding members of Justice League. Yeah. Back in the day. It was a different time. Now we have all sorts of new people. That was pre-Dupu? That was pre-Al? It's hard to imagine a time. Now there's dogs and teacups and girls. Anyway. Okay. Moves. Moves is a list of strings. So I think what I want to do... Okay, battle moves needs to have a flag of whether or not you can stack. It's Laura! So the moves, we're gonna add a new variable here called stackable. So this move is now stackable. What does that do? Well. the menu instance is going to count the number of times that it appears in the moves list. We're gonna do a unique moves. Unique move names. Moves dot. Is there a distinct? Is there a? Do I have to write a utility class for this? Hang on. Do I already have a utility function here for this? Distinct. I do. Let's see here. What was Laura up to? Super good one. Oh, what is Laura up to? Oh my gosh, Laura made it into a Super Mario World ROM hack. I really want to get back into doing a little bit of ROM hacking, but it's gonna be a while. I gotta get either super far ahead or really change my mind about how soon I want this game to be done. Instance count equals moves dot count. Oh no, that's not how it works, is it? How does... All right, find. Is there a count? Returns the number of times an element is in the array. Okay, that is what I want. Okay, so count the number of times that move name shows up in moves, and that's our instance count. So if the move is stackable, we're gonna have a max level. By default, it's 1. But if move dot stackable, which by default is false, then max level equals the number of badges you have of that one. So the idea, Willow, is if you have two like, you know how some modules can give you a new move to use in combat, like heavy gear is an example. If you have multiple copies of the same module, then we're going to give you an ability to use a stronger version of that move. So by default, when you have one module equipped that gives you like heavy gear, then it costs a certain amount and does a certain amount of damage. And that is a level 1 move. If you equipped 3 heavy gear modules, well, now you can choose to use heavy gear level 1, heavy gear level 2, or heavy gear level 3 in combat. Each of those will require more energy points, but also do more damage. It's going to be diminishing returns. The current formula that I'm going to hard code in, and maybe different moves will have different formulas. The current idea is going to be that going up a level doubles the cost and increases the damage by a set amount. Other moves may operate differently on the stackability. Shining Force 2, I'm not familiar with that. I gotta see what that was. Well, that is an RPG, all right. 1993. Tactical role-playing game. Oh, that is full-on tactics. I feel like I should love tactics games, but I've never really gotten into them. And I know there's like some really well-polished ones out there. It's just never been like, I've tried, because I'm like, I think I would love this genre, but I just haven't. It just doesn't stick with me. It just doesn't stick. All right, this is gonna be. Oh boy, this is gonna be a thing. Add item. Okay, this is the one right here. The combat menu. Cost type. Energy. Did you guys know we can have different types of cost? Moves generally cost energy, but sometimes they cost, for example, special points, like the recovery move. And there's going to be moves that cost health. That's already programmed. That works. And I think money is allowed. I think I've got it set up where I can charge you money to use a certain move. That'll be a fun one to add in once I figure out where that thematically fits. Usually too difficult. Yeah. I think that's usually part of the allure, isn't it, though? Real money. You insert your dollar bill into the CD drive. Do computers still have those? No. Do I care? No. After the cost type, I'll turn off bits. I swear. Cost type, max level, which by default is 1. Okay, so now back in the menu system where we have add item. After the cost type, we add in the max level variable there. Okay, good. Get rid of this command. We don't need. Oh wait, we do need that command still, don't we? I just realized there's a problem with the birds, which is they'll never go away. We need to await and then queue free. Technically, we could hook it up to the tween callback, but I don't care. I just don't care. All right, so that gives us the max level. Combat menu now has a max level variable passed into the add item instantiation system. Yes. So how does that work? That means I need to add a variable that we can use here. Max level. Let's keep these separate. Okay, I pinned it there. The name. Base name. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Item name is not stored anywhere, is it? Huh. Weird. Base name. So we'll need like some kind of update. Update name function. We also need a current level. If max level is greater than 1, then we have to append name, which is going to do this with base name. Var name equals base name. Well, let's say move name. But this isn't just used for move. Am I localizing strings? Not currently. My current plan for that is actually to set those up in separate text files, Currently, I'm keeping all dialogue stored in text files, split out by region of the game. Currently, I just load those completely into memory when the game loads. We'll get more specific on unloading if it becomes a performance hitch. The idea that will make it easier to modify, as well as to add different translations if the game gets to that scale. I don't know if it's going to be that popular of a game to warrant it, but we're going to see. Move name equals base name plus parentheses level plus string of current level plus close parentheses. What do you not like? Menu item instance. What is menu item instance? Huh. What are you? Combat menu. Uh-oh. Combat menu. Uh-oh. This isn't stored. Oh, no. Oh, this is a list. This is a list. This is not a single item. How do we fix that? Do we store it to the individual item and let that be handled there? I guess we do. Dang it. All right, get this stuff out of here. Get this out of here. That could just Control Z a bit. Max level, great. Get rid of this. Okay, we're back. Confirm with GitHub that this looks, yes, that just adds this. Combat menu item is what we want to be messing with. This is the instance. Now this is for any. Let me show you. The class we're about to edit is not just for moves. It's also for items. It's also for tactics. It's also for special moves. It's also for list of partners we can change between. All of that is, each of those little bubbles is one of these. So we're gonna have a max level, current level, base name, and I guess we'll have a update name. Figure out how that's gonna work. Okay, max level, current level. So menu item instance. Dot max level equals max level. Welcome in, Sanic. Additionally, base name, we're gonna set that now. Right there. And we're gonna change this, where we set the label text. We're gonna change that out. This is I'd call it Paper Mario-like. It's also very similar to Bug Fables. It's more in line with the GameCube era Paper Mario or the N64 one, not the latter. The later iterations are very different. I'm specifically targeting that old style that had more emphasis on level ups and optimization. Oh, thank you. I'm pretty excited about it. It's coming along nicely. Chapter 1's been finished for a few months. Yeah, there's you can play a full demo of all of Chapter 1 and all of the prologue. Actually could take a couple hours to complete. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Let's see here. What is this? Cost panel. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a thing. All right, this is good, though. This is good, because we're going to be pushing things in here. How do you do a setter in Godot? I mean, for this game, I'm doing it all in Godot's editor, which is fine. Godot accessor methods. Is that a thing in Python? Setter methods. Setters and getters. Set get keyword? Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. Tried using Godot once and failed miserably. Just started using Scratch. I mean, I don't think I can fail. What does that mean? It means that I don't feel like I don't think that my basis of my target for success. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. My metric for success on this project is just getting it done and feeling proud about it. And I can confirm it was Sanic. I'll pull the curtain back and reveal that it was Sanic. What does that put us at? Oh my gosh, are we gonna hit 1,300 tonight? We're getting close. Let's see here. Base name. And then you can do a set value. How does this work? I've never used setters. Have I? Have I ever used a setter? Do we have any instances of this? What is this? Oh, it's a setter. Oh, perfect. Or I bet it rounds. Well, yeah, because it doesn't show individual numbers once you get past 1,000. This is original music written for this game. It's one of the battle tracks. I have a talented friend handling most of the music. I believe they typically use GarageBand. Target value. Wait, do I have to? Oh, I don't have to use a separate. Is that true? I don't have to use a separate. I can do this? Is this allowed? Oh my gosh, that's pretty clean. I like that. And the syntax is good. Made over 100, nice. 1.6. I tell you what, Mac, if I'm still streaming by the time I hit 6,000 followers, I'll do a special stream. I don't think I even did did I do a special stream for 1,000? I might have done something. I don't remember what. Who knows? The only reason I know what I had for breakfast is because I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I would otherwise not remember at all. Panel/labels, there it is. Label. Oh, this is clean. I like this. I like this a lot. All right. Let's confirm that works before we keep going into the fancy stuff. Looks good. Yeah, everything looks great. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of flavor. If max level is greater than 1, then we need to append the current level. Space, paren, level, space, string of current level. I will say one thing I don't love is having, like, being so strict about having to cast to string. I guess it makes sense. But yeah. Let's see here. Have it print max level here for me. Are we setting max level yet on this? Yes, we are. We could actually make music for a game or something. I did it, is it not? No, there's a 2 in there. There's a 2 in there. It's just not doing it. I did, thank you for the Lizard Party. I've done music for my own games, typically. And I've actually done a lot of music for this game as well. Hello! No Yane Rain. Or wait, that would, I'm so sorry, I very much botched that. 2020, nice. Is it Noya in Rain? Or even Noya? I'm gonna botch it. Well, congratulations. It is it does feel good to have that behind me. Noya in Rain. Okay, Noya. Got it. I was like, no Yane Rain. No. Dumb. Don't. That's terrible. Okay, max level is 2. Why is label text not plus equals? Is it that I need to do this? Can we not do an addendum there? All right, get rid of this. Music. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean, that's really how you do it. Is you just gotta just do it. You know. No Yang. Where is it? I don't see the text showing up here. There's supposed to be an earth-shattering text. All right, print test. We're getting down to that level of just print the word test. It's there. It says that it's there. Where is it? I need to look at this combat menu item again and see what we're looking at here. Well, thank you, Sanic. It's gonna be a few years, but I hope that we can get it done. It's just panel label. Have a good day, Sanic. Hope to see you around. Label, my menu item. Panel label, panel label. Panel label is label. Label. Is something else setting it? Maybe? Label, theme override. Nothing else is messing with it there. Oh! Ah, jump scare. Right there. Yeah! Alright, good. Good. It's a long story. It's a living. Look, I'm not gonna say there's not something there. You know, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. There might be. Sometimes someone will suggest, hey, you should add such and such to your stream layout. And then we'll spend 20 minutes frame by frame editing GIFs of Hornet Silk Song with someone else's head on it for the bit. It's very silly. All right. Is selected. I guess this should be in the process here. I'm pretty sure she's been here, and she just didn't see it. Not you. You're fine. If it is selected and max level is greater than 1, if we press left, then current level equals pause mod current level -1 pause mod max level +1. Yeah. Else, if we hit right, then do the same but add 1. Okay, let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Why not? Okay, that's coming through. Print spacing. Good. Just Beak Barrage is happening. So it is landing in this code. Oh, if we do that, then we need to update the name. And probably also, oh, okay, that doesn't work. Pause mod max level +1? That doesn't make any sense. How do you do a pause mod that also wraps from 0? Pause mod max level and then add 1? But then if my current level was 2 and I said, okay, now subtract 1, then we jump back up to 2. What? My level is 2. Max level. I want there to be 2 options. Do you want this? 1. Okay, let's say max level is 4, and I'm at 1, and I press left. That's gonna subtract 2, which takes me to -1, which on max level would wrap around to 3, and then I'm gonna add 1 to get 4. So yeah, that does technically work. Unfortunately. I think this works as much as I hate it. Yeah, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ugh. Hang on, let's just temporarily test it with max level of 4. 1 2. Yeah, that works. Okay. Ugh, that's an awful. I'm trying to do a 1 index. You see what I'm doing? I'm doing a 1 index pause mod, so that it loops between 1 2 3 4 or something. And so I have to subtract 1 from the current value and then add 1 back in after, but then also do the -1 or +1, and the result is -2. Do a pause mod and then add 1 in post. Oh, it's awful, but it does work for every possible value, so I guess we're good. I would love a bloop noise. Combat menu. That's the base menu, isn't it? That's doing that noise. Is that the base menu noise? Menu move, yeah. Okay, so I could throw this in. This is a saved audio object, one that is always available. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Oh my gosh, now we're up. Guys, we are 2 follows away from 1,300. That's really bizarre. Boomtrout, hello, welcome in. Happy to have you. All right, so let's try this. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Secret follow. All follows are anonymous. Oh look, the ad thing is working, where it's actually showing how long until the ads down in the down there. I can't go any further because that's actually the edge of my desktop, but I can't break out of this layout. I stole that idea from Germ Dove. It's always been Noya. I need to rework the audio handler at some point. It's weird. You press the button twice, you get 2 follows. That's how it works. There's actually 2 different audio handling systems going on. One of them is okay, one of them is pretty bad. The current problem is that when I request a sound to be played by its key, by its ID, it will add it to the audio handler subscene, but it never gets removed. The idea I had when I built that system was I will remove the objects when I no longer need them. And so it'll load up the commonly used ones, and the rest will get loaded and then unloaded after however long. We'll do some cleanup. I never added the cleanup. So there's a chance that if you play through the entire game, you will have every sound effect loaded in memory, waiting to be played just in case. So likely what I need to do is maintain a list of sound effects that will be needed throughout the entire game. Things that will always keep coming up, like the jump sound effect, menu noises, that kind of stuff. But also, for the other sound effects, keep track of how long has it been since we've used the sound effect? 30 seconds? Let's go ahead and free that up. And then, if we need to reload it from the drive, we can. It's fine. Okay, next up, the cost. The cost is going to change based on the level. Here we go, cost. So we're gonna do menu item, instance. This is actually a lot cleaner overall. I think when we update the name, we're also gonna update the cost display. Yeah, this should have been down here since the beginning, huh? Cost panel, label. Okay, cost label is a label. It is located at panel, cost panel label. Text is string of cost. We're going to say current cost instead of base cost. And current cost is going to be based on the current level. So current cost equals, we're going to double it per level. So we're going to take the base cost, and we're going to multiply that by pow 2 to the current level minus 1 power. All right, that should do it. So this should see us switch to 4. Also, in battle menus, let's change the max level. Let's double it. So we can go up to 4. 2, 4, 8, 16. Yes! Beautiful. Now, right now, it's not actually going to take that away. Can use move. Currently, it's based on can afford move. Ah, okay. Okay. Can afford move is called for the base can afford. Huh. Okay, the menu item does not know about this information. I could replace can use move with a bound function, like a callable that we could call for refreshing it. So when you add item, it calls it once, but then also can refresh it when necessary. Maybe. Let's see where that goes. When you call can use, when you get the can use is enabled is what it is. And is enabled gets plopped right here for the set flag. Yep, makes sense. So it's like I kind of want is enabled to be either a Boolean this could break some stuff. I gotta be careful. Yeah, part of this is we have to check, are there any valid targets? If a move can only hit enemies on the ground, then if all the enemies are flying enemies, the move is disabled. The only thing that changes is the cost. Can afford. Here's the function for can afford. We check the type. If it costs health, you can always use it. It might kill you, but you can use it. If it costs special currency, then yeah. Then you just have to have that much. If it costs energy points, then yeah, you just have to have that much. Simple as that. Where does unit enter into it? HP. Because I used to say that if you don't have enough HP, you can't use it. And I took that away. So unit is no longer necessary. And battle moves is a global. So what if can use move is only based on the target stuff and affordability? We pass in the cost. We pass in the cost type. We can calculate whether you can afford it or not. What if we take this out and say, yeah, you can always use it? And we just need the cost type is here? Not really. Cost type gets lost somewhere. Cost type is a string. Why is Bob's listed as a cost type? Oh, I know why. Because there's a shop that sells things for Bob's, and shops can sell things for money. So cost type can be Bob's. This is not just combat menus. This is also shop menus. Use the same code. So watch out. So what we need to do is pass the cost type into the menu item instance. Default to energy, I guess. And then every time we update the name, which is also going to update the cost, we can go ahead and update the is disabled flag. Ooh, we have a base is disabled. Let's have base is disabled. Oh, wait, is it disabled? It is disabled. Weird. Where do we set that? Here. What does that do? Updates the style. Makes sense. Then yeah, I guess when we're initially setting it up. I think we can move these up here. That's probably fine. And so we gotta watch out for base disabled, because that one doesn't change. So if things are targetable, then we need to check the cost, the current cost. So that'll be battle moves.can afford move. Unit can be null, it doesn't really matter. Wait, how does this know? Passing the move. Oh no, it gets the actual cost, not the level-based cost. I see. So we can base that on current cost. That's fine. Can afford equals false. There we go. Sure. And this is going to be current cost, not the actual cost. And then set is disabled equal to whether or not you can afford it. Okay, that should work. So let's... Yay! Nice. Okay. I kind of want it to remember which level you're set at. That's a nitpick there. The fact that this automatically updates is great, though. Okay, what's the next piece? Does it actually charge me for when I use it? No, it does not. It does not. Chip! Big Boy Games official, welcome in. Hello. You're getting pretty close to, I mean, I know there's still the current version you're working on, but 1.0 is just around the corner. Everyone check out Big Boy Games official, developer of Starground, available on Steam. for an unlimited time. Hi everybody. Feels good to get a version complete. We're working on a fun system tonight. Specifically, leveled moves. Which is to say that if you have 2 of the same move equipped, the effect stacks so that you can use a stronger version of the move. And I'm letting it go ridiculous. So the idea is each additional level doubles the cost, but increases the effectiveness by some amount that will be specific per move. I haven't programmed that part in yet. Freedom! I'm already thinking like, oh gosh, after Paper Robot, I can't wait for the next project I can work on. Like, no, take a break! Oh man, it's gonna be a good feeling. This is easily the longest running project I've ever worked on. There's some other games I've worked on for multiple years, but it's like they were done, and then I kept adding more stuff because I was like, oh, I got an idea. Let's add in this and this and this. I think the longest game that I ever like worked on from initial setup to actual release, not including the post-release updates, was like just a year. And we're well past that now. Okay, so it needs to actually deduct the real cost. Right now it's deducting the original cost. How do we do that? Menu instance. Move, get move. Create targeting menu. So you target something. And then here we go, we deduct the cost. How do we grab the current level? How do we grab the current level? Could I pass in a pending cost? Targeting menu is used by a few other things. This is going to be a weird one. But I'm glad you're making good progress. It's been a big project for you. Oh, I don't want to have to rip this whole thing out. Surely there's some way I can just kind of inject this little feature in here without tearing the whole thing down. Multiplayer, gosh, is scary. I would love to do a multiplayer game at some point. I did a dummy one in Godot a while back just to kind of prove like, okay, this isn't that bad. But gosh, there's so much beyond just here's a scene and player 1 can move this thing, player 2 can move this thing. There's so much else on top of that. Mostly with just like the flow of getting into the game. And especially if you want to integrate like Steam lobbies and stuff. It's like, oh. Ugh. Now that you know how to fix it. That is a good feeling to have that experience under your belt. This is where we deduct the cost. Yeah. Little games, that's the way to go. Little games with way too much polish. Like AAA level menu to get into a really crummy pinball game. That's what you do. That's what you do. All sizzle. Barely any game. Instant classic. Cost. What if we set What if we edit? What if we edit the actual move? Where can we do that? Well, no, we don't even have to do that. We don't even have to do that. We could have a... we were already talking about that, about having some kind of global... not global, but like at the level of the moves, keep track of what the current level selected is. Is that possible? Can we do that? Yeah, when it is selected, then we just battle moves dot current level. This is probably a bad way of doing this. This is probably a bad way of doing this, but... It's probably not a good idea. But... Alright, this is also probably not a good idea. I don't like this system here. How do we do this? Can't afford move. That does need to be specific. So we are going to be kind of repeating ourselves a little bit. Get move cost of a battle move. Where is this used? Where is this used? Let's just in the, okay, attacks, specials, and targeting. Attacks. Because that gets passed in there. Okay, so no. Don't put it there. Don't put it there. That's the base move cost. Do not mess with that. It's only the targeting one. Okay, what if get move cost, but also... What if get move cost, but also... pass in a level? Alright, let's mess with can't afford move. We're trying to make this well built. Move level. Oh, this is only used here. This is only used here. What the heck is this here for? Where did this change? Did I? Hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's only on the specials? Whoops. Okay. Oh, cool. Then this is no longer used anywhere. Great. Get rid of it. Commenting out. I might want that still. So now this is the only place where that exists. Okay, that's good though. That's good. Now there's still the matter of deducting the cost. Actual deducting the cost happens with get move cost, which is the same thing that is used to determine the base cost. That's for getting the base cost. So get move cost, however, that I could see we actually add in a move level. And then we multiply by 2 to the power of move level minus 1. So that if you jump up to level 2, you double it. Jump up to level 3, you double it again. Okay. And then these, intentionally, we want the base cost only for here. And for here. So we're passing in a 1. But then here, where we're actually creating the target menu, here we actually want to use the selected level of the move, which is right there. Okay, this is the dumbest way of doing it. Hi, lag. Thanks for the egg. All right, so now we can't use level 4 or level 3, but we can use level 2, and it's still only deducted 2. Dang it. Why? Sounds like is selected didn't get set is selected. What is that supposed to do? Start up. On selection changed. It is supposed to set it to selected. Let's have that print to the console. Our old trusty console printer. 1 1 1 1. Oh, it only does it on select. It also needs to do that on changing the level, which happens in the process function here. After we change the current level. Oh, can you imagine if every console line went to a thermal printer? Still only deducted. It's still only deducted 2. All right, you're just messing with me now. All right, so let's pull up our remote view. Move directory. Right? Isn't that what it is? Battle moves. Here we go. All right, move level is 1. Now it's 2. It's still 2. It still says it's 2. So the thing that calculates the cost here, get move cost. If move level is 2, it should double the move cost. Test. Okay. And use it. 1. Move level was 1. Why? And a thermal printer. I mean, that does sound pretty fun, honestly. It ships with a thermal printer. Battle moves. Current level. Battle moves, move level. Current level. Let's do this. It seems Seems like this shouldn't be necessary. Is it the targeting menu? No, it never hit that. It never hit that, and yet, no, move level is currently 2. Is my math wrong? Is my math wrong? That's very possible. I can have wrong math. This right here, battle cost, get move cost. Is this somehow a different iteration of move level? Get move cost. Right here. Targeting menu. Battle manager. Battle moves. Move level. No, it won't be the attack menu. It'll be create targeting menu, isn't it? Something is mysterious around here. Okay, battle moves. Test 1. We got a 1 here. Okay. We're getting a 1. I guess that's something. We're also only getting a 1 here. Okay. So 1 is being passed into this from here. So this is currently coming across as 1. Battle Manager has an object called Battle Moves. It is a separate Battle Moves object. There are 2 of them. What the crap? How are they different? Battle Manager, Battle Moves. Battle Moves should not be this. It should be this. And this should go away. I do believe this should go away. That's a pretty major change, but that should work. Please, charge me for... Oh, thank goodness. Well, we crashed, but... Action command instance on nil. Set flag. Okay, that's fine. That's a problem with the bird summon move. I'm much happier with that. Whew. All right. I would happily say that the code is getting a little bit cleaner tonight. In some places. Okay. So it was right here, right? Yeah, we were in set flag, and it's saying, that doesn't exist. Battle Manager doesn't have an action command instance, which is weird, because we were waiting on the result to be not -1. This better not be a problem with me removing that battle moves. No, nothing's referencing it by, like, nothing's trying to find node. Right? Right? I'm trying to find the object called battle moves. Why was action command instance already null there? Why was that already null? This starts it. This sets a flag to. Oh wait, what flag are we specifically setting? We're trying to set the value equal to 3. Oh, the targets. So we hit action command start, and that failed to set it, didn't it? Okay, right. We don't need this anymore. Huh. Start action command from the battle manager. Created an object, added it to the battle manager. There it is. Battle manager action command object does exist. Looks like it exists. It's got a path and everything. Okay. But when we're trying to set flag here, we're looking for an object called targets on this action command and set them. And does this action command have an object called target? It does have an object called targets. You can't find action command on what? Actors is null. Oh. What? What? That implies that the battle manager is null. Set flag. Set flag starts with the actors. Or an array of actors. It was not a string. It was not an array. All right. Let's start it from the top then. Yeah, let me breakpoint at you. I'm gonna breakpoint at you until it all works. Okay. Actors is already null. I'm sorry? Excuse you? No, it's not. I'll decide if it's null or not. Why would it be null? Set flag. Right there. That's what's bound. Now, the tricky thing is that that's bound. Why would Battle Manager be null in this bound instance here? Thank you, Willow. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense most of the time. But here we are. This was working. I hate that this was working. I'm gonna turn battle moves. I'm gonna put battle moves back and see what happens. I really don't want this to work. Thank goodness. Okay, so that's not what it was. Ooh, but what if this does something with Battle Manager? Like, what if? Oh no, it is. That's okay. Battle Manager. Battle moves. Equal self. There we go. Okay, fixed it. I think. I think that fixed it. I know, I know. Yay. That's very fun. I love the bird flying off it. I want him to go further. Hang on, I want him to go further forward. Right at the camera. Right now I've got him going pretty close to the camera. We're gonna go a little bit further forward with that. He's got a random array of positions he can fly towards before he gets deleted. And I just want to increase that a little bit. Okay, that was great. That was great. The last thing I think we need is Battle Move's move level. So in the player moves, number of birds is battle moves dot move level +1. So this is a linear increase. Every move up increases the number of birds by 1. So level 1, the base, gives you 2 birds, 2 damage each. Level 2, 3 birds. It works. It works. Okay, what's left in this move-based system? Is there anything left? Did we finish? That can't be everything. Right now, if you have 2 copies of this module equipped, you are granted the ability to swap between level 1 and level 2. It charges you a different amount of money, a different amount of energy. The move itself can use it and read that value of level and do different things for different levels. It's only if I set the stackable flag on the move. I think that's it. I really got that guy. I did overkill on him. I think that's a feature complete. The only thing I can think of doing different is it would kind of be nice to have some kind of visual indication beyond just this little parentheses level to indicate that there's another move available. Like, the thing that comes to mind is having like another little bubble behind it, but I don't know. I guess remembering what level is set on the move would be nice. That's too much. That's too much. That's pretty fun. Okay. That was great. That works. There is one thing I need to change, which is I've got a ×2 in here because I just wanted, for debug purposes, I wanted to see level 3 and 4 being grayed out, and they are properly grayed out now. Let's see. D is doing Silk Song. Dove is doing Core Keeper. Small Block is doing the burger game in Unreal he's been working on. Photon is playing a train and plane video game. I think we gotta go to Dove tonight. It's gotta be Dove. I do want to play that, but I gotta finish chapter 2. This is a major step. Having this level-based stuff was the big blocker before I could knock off this reward from Jump Rope. Because the move is done, but I really wanted to give you 2 of the same module to create that, like, interesting, like, wait, 2 of them? What happens if I equip 2? And then I want someone in Chapter 2 to mention, like, oh, well, yes, 2 modules. Blah, 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 blah. This is what happens. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to explain it in great detail. Exactly like that. So yeah, now it'll be easy to set up the reward. I'll throw in an NPC to explain double modules. This is all boss. I don't know. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. This is all boss, and this is all Leon's moves. He needs some sound effects, and he needs a different move, and his main move is not very good for animation. And then all this stuff is pretty quick, and this stuff is even quicker. So I'm thinking, like, this polish 6 hours. That's 1 week of streams. Nothing. Have a good night, everybody. See you around. We're going to get through this. Chapter 2 by the end of the year. Fingers crossed.